everyone. Welcome to today's version of Dwelling in the Word. Today we want to lean into another ghost story in the Bible. We want to dwell in the story of the transfiguration of Jesus on the mountain with his disciples, Peter, James, and John. Now this is a pivotal moment in the gospel of Jesus. Jesus has just revealed to his disciples in no uncertain terms that he is indeed the Christ, the Son of the living God. And to follow up on that, he also explains what this means, that Jesus will go to the cross, be crucified, and on the third day be raised back to life. And on the heels of this bold declaration comes this supernatural encounter on the mountain. At least for a brief moment on the mountain, things of the spiritual realm became both visible and audible. And let's read and hear the word of text from Luke chapter 9, verses 28 through 36. About 8 days after Jesus had said this, he took Peter, John, and James with him and went up onto a mountain to pray. As he was praying, the appearance of his face changed, and his clothes became as bright as a flash of lightning. Two men, Moses and Elijah, appeared in glorious splendor, talking with Jesus. They spoke about his departure, which he was about to bring to fulfillment at Jerusalem. Peter and his companions were very sleepy, but when they became fully awake, they saw his glory and the two men standing with him. As the men were leaving Jesus, Peter said to him, "Master, it is good for us to be here. Let us put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." He did not know what he was saying. While he was speaking, a cloud appeared and covered them. And they were afraid as they entered the cloud. A voice came from the cloud saying, "This is my son, whom I have chosen. Listen to him." And when the voice had spoken, they found that Jesus was alone. The disciples kept this to themselves and did not tell anyone at that time what they had seen. Now, I don't know what you make of this ghost story. We're not given a whole lot of details here, but make no mistake, there is an incredibly important message that we are to hear in this remarkable story of the unusual events that transpired on the mountain. We are told that Moses and Elijah appeared in glorious splendor on the mountain with Jesus. How? How was that possible? And we can scratch our heads and ask a million questions, but I'm confident that when the cloud enveloped them, if any one of us had been standing there with the disciples, we too would have been afraid, very afraid. Moses and Elijah were not there to harm, and there was nothing frightening about their presence or demeanor. There was nothing gory about their appearance. We're given no suggestion of this at all. They were there in glorious splendor. But what was happening on the mountain was not normal. It was what we now would refer to as paranormal, in the sense that this defies any kind of a scientific explanation. You cannot explain through science how two men who have been long dead in the flesh and living in the spiritual realm, wherever that is, could suddenly appear, and not just appear, but carry on a conversation. Jesus, in this moment, also transfigured. His face and even his clothes shone brightly. Again, Moses and Elijah not only appeared in glorious splendor, they spoke with Jesus. They carried on a conversation with him. And these, again, are two people who had died long ago in the flesh, and yet here they were in some glorious form and appearance, talking to Jesus. And then when the cloud moved in and just swallowed them up, enveloped them into the midst of this cloud, God spoke from the cloud and said, "This is my son whom I have chosen. Listen to him." Moses and Elijah were suddenly gone. Only Jesus remained with the three disciples. Jesus is God's Son. We are to listen to him. So the question I leave with you today is, are you listening to Jesus? Is there any place or space in your life where you are not listening to Jesus? Is there anything that Jesus said that you are simply ignoring today? I urge you to listen to Jesus. Obey his commands. Put his teachings into practice. Jesus gave us words of life, so let's live by his words and do what Jesus said we should do in every situation.